All right, monsters. So before any winter storm, you know what we need? Bread and milk. Make sure you stock up on those essentials.
What's up, Lawn Monsters? Sean here with Spencer's Lawn Care. Today we're preparing for a snowstorm that is heading our way. Some of the forecasts are saying potentially 5 to 7 inches. Others are saying 1 to 3. Some are saying 2 to 4. So we're just going to kind of have to play this one by ear and see what we end up getting. It's really depending if the snowstorm tracks our way just a bit north, we'll get more. If it stays south, we're just going to be on the outer band of it. But let's go ahead and get prepping. So to prep for this storm, the first thing we need to do is get some salt into the bed of the truck. I'm predicting we're going to need about 30 bags to get us through the first round of the salt spreading and plowing. Fail. Alright guys, so a semi ended up coming by and drowned this piece of audio out, so I'm going to redo it. Basically here I was explaining that you want to keep your salt far enough forward away from the tailgate to leave enough room for your feet to be able to fit in between the tailgate and the salt there. Just so you have enough room to work comfortably, you're not tripping over the bags of salt there, and you're able to turn around and dump the bags from the bed of the truck into the salt spreader hopper. So that's what I was explaining here. So you gotta have a 5-gallon bucket, guys. You gotta have a snow shovel. I got 20 bags in here so far. I'm gonna finish this video out and then I'm gonna put another probably 10 in here just to get us through the first round that we're gonna need. I was potentially gonna go get another skid only because originally they were predicting a bunch more snow to come like almost every day next week. Just small storms, but at least snow every single day. So I was thinking about throwing another skid in. But now they're saying possibly next Thursday or Friday we might get a little more snow. So I'm not trying to sit on a bunch of salt. Let's continue our prep. Alright monsters, another quick tip. We're going to go ahead and hit all of our fittings with some dielectric grease. You don't need much of this, just enough to get down in there, keep everything lubricated. Going to keep everything from corroding up and just keep us operating. Easy peasy, pumpkin squeezy. Let's go ahead and throw on the Boss TGS 1100. Alright monsters, let's go ahead and hook up the Boss TGS 1100 salt spreader. Which I think this salt spreader is one of the easiest to hook up. You literally put it on that hook, push up till you hear that click, guys, and you're freaking good to go. And I'm telling you right now, man, if you're in the plow game, and you're not in the salt game, you're leaving tons of freaking money on the table. For an example, okay, this year we've dropped a plow 1 time, okay? Yet we've went out and salted 7 times so far. If you take the amount of money that we're making off of the salt, you know, on our upcharge, you know, we buy a bag of salt for, I'll say roughly $7, we'll say, okay? We turn around and we sell it for $21, for an example. So we're making $14 per bag. Now, I'm not giving you exact numbers, guys. It could be more, it could be less. But we're making $14 per bag we set down, okay? So you times that by the amount of bags that we're laying, and you're talking thousands of dollars, guys, that we're just putting back into our business, into our pockets. You know, plowing, you might get some storms here or there. Salting, you're going to be out, you're going to be freaking working consistently. You cannot be in the plow game if you're not in the salt game. I don't care what anybody says, you're just leaving way too much money on the table. It, you know, some guys might not be to the point yet where they want to buy a salt spreader, or maybe they just don't have enough salt plow account or salt spreading accounts. But I mean, this is the cheapest part of the entire setup, guys. You're talking $2,500, $3,000 for the salt spreader. The plow itself, you know, you're talking $6-7 grand. So, I mean, this was an easy freaking sell for me. You know, $2-3 grand. This thing has already paid for itself pretty much this year just off salt spreading. So the biggest thing, guys, you want to make sure your feet are sitting on your bumper nice and firm. And then you just want to go ahead and throw your ratchet straps on each side. There's 2 of them. They just clip down here to where your normal trailer, you know, chains hook at. Just hook them down there. Unlatch these bad boys. Make sure you don't have any binds in your ropes. Then you're just going to tighten them down. Make sure it's nice and firm. You don't want a freaking 1,000-pound salt spreader, you know, coming off the back of your truck when you're loaded down with salt. Then you'll just come over here to your main power source, your plug. Gonna go ahead and line them up. Got that new dielectric grease in there. Give us a good connection. Push them bad boys in there, and you're freaking good to go. All right, another quick thing. You just want to come in here and visually inspect all of your hydraulic hoses, guys. Make sure everything looks firm, nice and tight. You can also come down here, check your bolts, your springs. You're just kind of visually inspecting everything, making sure everything's nice and tight, nothing's worked its way loose, you know, especially after your first use like we had the other day. I'm also going to come down here and inspect my bolts, make sure nothing's worked its way loose. A lot of this I'm just visually inspecting, guys. So if I see something that possibly looks like it has came loose anywhere on this plow, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get the sockets out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to retighten everything just to make sure. All right, monsters, another thing you want to do is you want to make sure your hydraulic fluid is topped off. Basically, if you come down here, you can tell where it's full at. If you can't see it in that reservoir at all, you need to add a little bit of fluid to it. You kind of want it to come straight across and be visible right in this reservoir. That's about where your top off mark is. We're going to go ahead and just take a visual look. We're looking good there, but we're looking like we're probably getting pretty close to that. We need to add a little bit. All right, guys, another quick tip. You want to come in here to all your knuckles and you want to shoot grease in between all of these knuckles. If you're using your plow a lot, you're going to want to do it at least probably once a week. You know, if you're not using it as much, you can probably get away with it once every 5-6 plows. But just mainly you want to visually inspect it. You want to see that there's grease coming out at all times. I actually need to get a better fitting for this one, more one with a point on it, so that I can get inside those grooves a bit better. But if you come around here to the back side, I am able to get quite a bit of grease in from the back side, which helps out a lot. As long as you're keeping those knuckles lined up with grease, just so you're not getting wear and tear on the metal itself. So the next thing we want to do is just make sure all of our mechanics are working. We're going to go in here, we're going to test them out, make sure everything's operating correctly.
Alright, we're going to do a salt spreader test. He's going to turn it on initially, just see if it's got connection, like that. And then he's going to speed it up to see how they go. That worked. Looks good. Yep.
Alright, monsters, that's a quick little video for you for our winter storm prep. We do have a lot of other things that I'm not going to go into detail pulling it out here, like tools, socket sets, ratchet straps. We keep all that stuff in the back of the truck. It's just good stuff to have, guys, just in case you have a breakdown. We also do have a Boss Winter Storm kit in there. One day I'm going to go through that kit on an actual video. That's why I don't want to show it just yet. But I want to kind of show you what they have in there. They have some straps and stuff that if the plow happens to come down, you know, you have to be able to get that plow back up. And what they suggest, you know, a lot of people don't know, but they actually suggest running that plow up onto a snowbank if you can. And then you can get that strap in there and you can hold that plow up, and then you can take it in for service or, you know, to get it routinely maintained, you know, if it breaks down or anything like that. Hopefully we don't have any of that, but if we do, you know, we'll be prepared for it. So as always, guys, keep salting, keep plowing, keep making money, boys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.